So I was in the middle of editing this video that was supposed to be about when we're going to get the next Nintendo Direct, or possibly just more Smash information, and talking about a few leaks that were discussing that. And our friend Vergeben dropped some more information, so I just feel I should share it with you. He made a post. I'm not going to read the whole thing because some of it's about Soul Calibur and Dragon Ball FighterZ, but at the end he adds a bit of Smash information, so I'll just read it to you. It says, since you people keep bugging me and tagging me for Smash Ultimate info constantly today, I'll leave you a morsel to speculate over. Decidueye isn't the Gen 7 Pokemon character. So, Vergeben deconfirming Decidueye. He's also saying he's not the Gen 7 Pokemon character, so is that implying there is a Gen 7 Pokemon character? And then, who is it? And if he knows Decidueye is not the Gen 7 Pokemon character, has he seen him as a Pokeball Pokemon, or has he just seen who our Pokemon newcomer is? And is it a Gen 7 or not? The way he words it kind of sounds like there is going to be a Gen 7 Pokemon newcomer, so potential candidates are like Lycanroc, Incineroar, or Mimikyu. I always kind of thought Incineroar probably had a really good chance. I mean, the biggest reason to have a Grass-type Gen 7 Pokemon was to finish that like trifecta of Charizard, Greninja, and then a Grass starter. But since Charizard is now part of Pokemon Trainer, it doesn't seem as necessary to do that, so you might just go with whoever the most popular starter Pokemon is. And while I think Decidueye is the most popular Gen 7 Pokemon starter, I don't think that was the case initially, and I don't think that's who Game Freaks thought they were going to push. If you look at like the concept art, Incineroar seems like he was the main starter Pokemon that they intended to push. And also a wrestler just has a cool moveset. I mean, Sakurai chose Greninja based on concept art, and I think it was probably because, he's a ninja character, that'll be fun. Whereas like a wrestler type character, very interesting. Could potentially also be Mimikyu. He was pushed pretty heavily as, a promotional type character for Pokemon Sun and Moon. My only issue is that he just seems like an assist trophy type character. I don't know if he'd be able to move around very well. I mean, I've seen like in the anime sometimes he like floats around, or at least one of them did. But I'm just not sure if that's exactly how Sakurai would want to represent that type of character. I feel like a Pokeball Pokemon might work better. But hey, who knows? And then Lycanroc was also, that's how you pronounce his name. He was pretty popular as promoting Sun and Moon. So you got to remember, Smash went into development at the end of 2015. Smash Ultimate did. So, we're getting potentially, if we're getting Sun and Moon Pokemon, like a Gen 7 Pokemon, we're looking at, the early days of that, and what Game Freaks was pushing was probably who Sakurai would have chosen if he chose a Gen 7 Pokemon, which now with this new Vergeben leak, sounds like he was, or that there is a Gen 7 Pokemon in the game. So, yeah, interesting. If you're following the Vergeben leaks, that's the newest news, like hot off the presses. Just filming this and gonna just add it into this video because making two videos just seems unnecessary. So it's now August, and it's been a while since E3, and we really haven't gotten any Smash news, or really any Nintendo news. I mean, I think we had a whole bunch of leaks and predictions of getting, a Nintendo Direct in July, none of which came to pass. So now we have a whole bunch more leaks and predictions of people saying we're going to get one in August. So, what's really going to happen here? Interestingly, if you'd gone onto Google and typed in Nintendo Direct and looked for one in August, you would have probably seen that Nintendo had one happening today on the 3rd. That wasn't true. That was just kind of a glitch with Google. Basically, Google takes the dates for things, and they'll put in their own month for that. And what that was actually was a March Direct because of the European, or mostly, actually basically the rest of the world besides America pretty much, way of doing a calendar, which would have the 3 and the 8 switched around. So instead of August 3rd, it was March 8th. So Google kind of incorrectly was telling everyone there was going to be a Nintendo Direct today, which there was not. But today is also when EVO is happening, so that's a huge tournament for Super Smash Brothers, both Melee, and we have Smash for Switch is going to be set up there, and I believe Smash 4 is also there this year. So, that's something else that could possibly give us some new information. We actually did get our first piece. Well, Actually, I guess it was technically our second piece of information. I think our first piece of information was the Mii fighters actually had, like, they did a little bit more in depth on just the Super Smash Brothers main page, talking about their customization and stuff. But yesterday we got Delfino Plaza announced. Well, kind of announced, actually. It was a little weird. Rodan was shown as an assist trophy, which we saw at E3, but in one of the images that Nintendo tweeted, we could see that Delfino Plaza was in the background, so that was the stage, that was, where the image was from. So Delfino Plaza is back. So that's kind of our first new piece of information that was barely announced to us. It was sort of just slipped through the cracks, or if they knew they were announcing it, they didn't seem to highlight it or really care that that was a new piece of information. So pretty soon we're going to see a demo at EVO, and it could be a different demo. It could be the same demo as E3. We don't really know, but there are some leaks about things we may be getting at EVO, and there's a bunch of leaks about when we're going to get another Nintendo Direct or more news. So I'm just going to go over a bunch of them here. I think the biggest thing, besides that incorrectly labeled Google Nintendo Direct thing, where it was just March instead of August, was the issue. We also have, so this is more interesting because it probably does point to something. There was 15 private videos added to the 3DS section of Nintendo's YouTube page. So basically, most likely, if we do get another Direct, it's possible it's 3DS themed. If it was 3DS themed, I'm hoping they highlight WarioWare, and potentially they could possibly give us Ashley as a reveal character. It's also possible they don't reveal anybody. I was already kind of banking on Ashley being the next reveal, so if we did get a 3DS Direct sometime here in August, that would make sense. It's also possible they hold off a little, maybe not until September, and they hold off a Direct right before they release the Switch's online program. Also possible. But so let me go over one credible leak that I actually totally missed. That has a leaked part of the leak is that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct here in August. So that's a hopeful one. Hopefully that's soon. So that leak is the LOZ18. I'm assuming it's Legend of Zelda 18 leak. Source Gaming covered this one a little while back, and I, to be honest, had never heard of it. Also, if you're not subscribed to Source Gaming, go do that. They're an excellent page. Definitely one of my favorite pages for, or YouTube channels, rather, for, getting Smash information. So anyway, they covered this LOZ18 leak, and it was basically someone over on Game FAQs or Game Facts or whatever, however you say it. I say Game FAQs because frequently asked questions. I know that's what they're going for. It just sounds better than Game Facts to me, even though I guess that's what it really is. Anyway, so it was a poster who their username was LOZ18, and they had credible information before the E3 dropped. They basically knew a whole bunch of stuff. This one kind of slipped past me. I think what happened is I probably got it mixed up with that 4chan leak that happened. There was someone on 4chan posted, basically we were getting Ridley, Daisy, no cuts. Pretty much, the meat of what we got at E3 was shown on 4chan. And this LOZ18 guy said a lot of the same things, and I think kind of just right after E3, if you were going online looking at, what new information has just come out for Smash from E3, or what leaks, have been proven right, I think it was just kind of hard to find. There was just such a huge amount of, like an influx of information that this one just somehow I totally missed it. So basically, he got a bunch of stuff right. So he was over on Game FAQs. He didn't make his own new thread. It was just he posted in an already existing one, and he just started posting information, stuff he knew. And it turned out, at the end of E3, he had gotten stuff right. He got a few things wrong, but it kind of made sense why he got those things wrong, I guess, if you really think about it. Let me go over some of the things he got right first. So first off, he said Ganondorf would be based on Ocarina of Time Ganondorf. He pretty much described Inkling's moveset to a T. He got Moray Tower as the name of the Inkling stage. He knew that Link would have no hook shot. He knew that he had bombs that you could roll. A lot of the stuff he knew seemed to be Legend of Zelda stuff. He knew Zelda would have her Link Between Worlds look. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go over everything. There was a bunch, but it's pretty obvious this guy had credible, real information. Some of the things he didn't get right, again, were more forgivable or could be explainable. He said that wave dashing returned, but he later kind of said that like he was either told wave dashing returned or that wave dashing appeared to be possible in this game, which I could understand why someone might think that. And he also said that there were only 10 to 12 characters in the demo, but again, it's possible. We know there was a demo version that like the people who eventually played in the Invitational tournament got to play that didn't have Ridley in it because Ridley wasn't revealed yet. So possible that demo only had 10 or 12 characters. I don't really know. He said a few things that might be more like predictions. I'll get to those in a second. So those didn't necessarily come true. So the stuff he got wrong seems forgivable, and the stuff he got right seems unguessable. So my assumption is that, and especially he said that he had a friend that was there. So my assumption is that he was either a friend of one of the people at the Invitational. I don't really want to try to figure out who this guy is. I'm not looking to out this guy for leaking information. But that's my assumption, is that he was somehow involved with the people in the Invitational. He seemed to think we were going to get another character reveal at the Invitational, but it turned out he later kind of said that it was just that Nairo was showing up. So my guess was people were saying that there's some surprise character, some surprise at the Invitational, and everyone took that as, oh, they're going to announce another character, and the surprise was actually Nairo was going to be at the Invitational. He also said that Zelda would have her Breath of the Wild outfit as an alternate costume. I have a bit of a theory about this one. Either one, that's something that's just coming later, or more likely, I think, is that he or his friend or whoever he was getting the information from probably saw the beginning of the E3 Smash reveal, but probably saw it in Japanese. Because if you watch the E3 Smash reveal in Japanese, when they show Zelda, they say Breath of the Wild in English, or, it's the same in Japanese, because that's the title of the game. And so if you didn't have the context of what they were saying was that Breath of the Wild Zelda is more like a researcher than a fighter, that's why they chose A Link Between Worlds Zelda, you might have thought that saying Breath of the Wild meant, oh, she probably has a Breath of the Wild outfit. So, especially with this guy's name, LOZ18, Legend of Zelda, probably into Zelda stuff. If, let's say, a friend saw it, heard that in Japanese with no translation, just, got to watch the footage before they, actually dubbed over it. He might have told his friend, hey, I think Breath of the Wild Zelda has a costume. That's what it sounded like. So it got mixed up in that, just lost in translation there, basically. That would be my guess for it.
ブレスオブザワイルドのゼルダは戦闘向きではないので、神々のトライフォースのデザインにしてみました。
So a few other things that were more like predictions. He said that it would have a heroes and villains theme to this one, or at least that was the rumor. Actually, if you remember back at the E3, just if you were following Smash speculation, there was a leak called the Imager leak, which was really, really popular. It's totally dead in the water now. As it said, Samurai Goro and Takamaru were characters, and they're both assist trophies. But it was calling for the game to have a heroes versus villains theme. It's possible, again, he was just relaying that rumor was, being talked about at E3, and he might have seen it as, oh, this is potentially real information, when really it was just the rumor going around at the time. He also said that he thought the higher-ups had played as another character. Now, I don't know if he knew about Ridley or Daisy not at the time of this, so possible that was the other character that they knew about. It's also possible they knew about someone else, because he seemed to also think, even after Ridley was revealed, that we would be getting someone at the Invitational. So, I mean, basically all that says is that there's, one or more characters in the game, but I think everybody's pretty much banking on that. And then kind of the big thing that he revealed, or kind of leaked, was that there'd be a direct in August. So his specific wording on that, let me just find it here on my computer. He said, what I hear is that there will be one Nintendo Direct around August, which will showcase the start screen all the way to the menu options. Tournament mode will be shown in 2 other modes besides the All-Star mode. Of those 2 modes, one is completely new and will be the primary way to unlock new characters. I'll keep you posted if anything else. So there you go. He basically said there's going to be a Direct in August. Now, I think this guy's totally credible. I think all the stuff he said, was true. I think he at least believed it to be true. I think some of it, was false information. Again, we may get like a Breath of the Wild Zelda, but I think my explanation may also be true. And I wouldn't say if we don't get one that he was, lying or faking it. The things he guessed are unguessable. So I do think he had real information, but it also sounded to me, just the way he wrote, the stuff he talked about, that he's more just like a Smash fan who probably just got access to some E3 stuff early. Either he was there, either a friend of his was in the Invitational, something like that. Feels like that's the way he was getting the information. So I don't know if he'd really know about an August Direct or if he's just kind of assuming we're going to get one, and, that's where this comes from. So this is the final post from LOZ18 regarding, leaked information. I'm just going to read it. It says, I just wanted to make a quick reply regarding all the discussions behind my credentials and stuff. First, I did have access to the demo and played it for a short amount of time. Not only me, but a friend too. Again, this is making me think that potentially he just knew someone who was invited to the Invitational, or possibly someone who worked at E3, something like that. It appears to be where he's getting the information. So I don't know how trustable he is for further information down the road. Anyway, we'll keep going. So he says, both of us have access to interesting people and places. That's all I'm going to say. I really don't care about leaking stuff, to be honest. I actually believe it does a disservice to Nintendo. I do know bits of information, but I don't plan on speculating anything until I know 100%. I do not want to be widely known, nor do I want any kind of attention as being a leaker. I did create a thread one time and posted it in a buried thread, and that's how I plan on revealing any kind of info. I think it's not a big deal to reveal. Other than that, I do not plan to be active under LOZ18 for a while, so watch out for those can't be true kind of leaks. You never know which one is true. That's how I like to do it. Keep following Vergeben and his posts. He does seem to have some kind of insider, not just from what I've seen, but from what I've heard personally from other people. So I guess he just doesn't really want to be known as a leaker. Sorry, man, I got to cover everything. But he's probably going to drop off. He may post more stuff if he doesn't think it's that big of a deal to reveal it, but probably under a different name, or, that's kind of what he's saying with the, pay attention to even the things that can't be true, stuff that doesn't seem like it's likely. And him saying to follow Vergeben or Vergeben, I know it's supposed to be like forgiven in German, but I don't know how to pronounce it to make it sound the way it's supposed to sound. So Vergeben, that's what I'm calling him. So he says to keep following Vergeben, which, again, like he said, the heroes and villains thing, Vergeben's a pretty popular leak among people who kind of, have been following speculation. So once again, I think he's just someone who, again, had some access to some stuff, but also kind of is following speculation, is, knowing where everybody else seems to be at with this sort of thing. So if he knows, Simon Belmont's in the game like Vergeben did, maybe that's why he said it. It's also possible he just, has been talking to everybody else who seems to be on, the better side of understanding speculation and is agreeing it. Yeah, Vergeben seems to have some information. So speaking of Vergeben, so he recently leaked Isabelle, or added Isabelle to his leak, and there was one interesting thing I heard on 4chan, just by chance. Not exactly a leak that I'd follow because there's no reason for credibility, but I thought it was interesting. Basically, someone said that they were kind of mad at Vergeben for saying Isabelle, and the reason they were mad was because they said other people in the know were going to use Isabelle as a way to determine if a leak could be true or could be false. Basically, the people who were in the know or knew about Isabelle, for however that's been discovered, were saying that they were going to look at every leak, and any leak that didn't have Isabelle, they'd kind of not really look at. But if a leak had Isabelle, it was possible it was true. And if that information wasn't known to the public, they could use it to discern which leaks were possibly real and which leaks were probably fake. But now Isabelle's known. So I don't know if that's true at all. I mean, obviously someone could just make that up, but it's interesting. The person didn't leak anything else, so they were just kind of getting that information out there, and I don't know why you'd fake that. So it's interesting. So there's one other leak besides having LOZ18 tell us that there's probably going to be a direct in August. There's another one called the Japan leak. At least that's what I've heard it be called. Pretty much this one is from one of the other Chan boards, a Japanese one. So I can't really verify this one that well because what this person supposedly guessed before E3 was Ridley, and apparently they alluded to Daisy. But it was entirely in Japanese, so I don't know. I wasn't following it. I can't verify it. I'm just going off of what apparently people on these Japan boards seem to be believing this person. So this person came back after, predicting Ridley and I guess alluding to Daisy, and they have more information that they wanted to leak. So again, I don't have the exact leak because it's in Japanese, but this was, the big things that they leaked. It was that there'll be a Nintendo Direct on the 24th of September. Bandai Namco will be revealing 2 new reps, Heihachi and Lloyd. 4 new stages to be revealed, and there will be Mario Kart related content in that Direct. So that's interesting. September 24th is right after the Tokyo Game Show in Japan, so good time to potentially have a Nintendo Direct. It's also right around the time we'll probably be getting Nintendo's online, so another time, the timing that feels right, to do a Nintendo Direct. And so Heihachi and Lloyd, so both of those were Mii costumes, and they're both Namco characters. Tales of is a pretty popular series over in Japan. Actually, I went to there's a Tales of store over in Akihabara. I went there, it was pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Tales of Symphonia, so Lloyd would be cool to me. And Heihachi, of course, is from Tekken, another big game series from Namco. So both of those seem pretty likely. There's a few other leaks that don't really have any credibility. 2 of which, though, seemed very similar and seemed to be written by different people. I'm not going to go over them too hard because, again, there's no reason to really believe them, besides the fact that they kind of lined up. And they basically said Heihachi would be revealed at EVO. I don't know if Nintendo would reveal anything at EVO, to be honest, but they have shown a bit more of an interest in competitive Smash, so it's possible. Heihachi, again, does seem like a likely character. He's a Mii costume, and he's a Namco character. Namco getting both characters seems a little odd to me, just because Sakurai said there's not going to be too many more characters, and they had 2 third-party reps from Namco. It's possible. I feel like a more likely situation, if it wasn't for these leaks, was that I'd say Heihachi gets in and Lloyd is an assist trophy, kind of like Snake and Bomberman. But I mean, we have a leak that seems pretty credible with Simon Belmont and Snake both joining this game. So for Namco to get 2 more, hey, it's possible. And not too many more characters. How many is not too many more? We could still get 12 characters this game, and having 2 be new Namco reps, it's possible. Again, the Tales of series is really popular. Tekken series is really popular. They're both characters that could potentially happen. So yeah, EVO's right now, so if Heihachi gets revealed at EVO, like some of these leaks seem to be saying, some of the less credible leaks seem to be saying, we'll find out in a little while here. He'd be a good character to reveal at EVO, as he's a fighting game star, and EVO's a big fighting game tournament. So when are we going to get more Smash information or the next Nintendo Direct? It's tough to say. We have a whole bunch of potentially credible or possible sources of information saying different things. We could get Heihachi here at EVO. We'd know that pretty soon. That would be pretty cool. I've also heard some leaks saying, we could possibly get Ashley, who was my guess for, who I thought was going to be revealed next if another character was revealed. Also potentially here at EVO. I mean, she's not a fighting game character, but Nintendo's never revealed any Smash characters at EVO, so who's to say they really have to, make sense? And Nintendo does things that sometimes don't make sense at all. Another possibility is we just get an August Direct. That's LOZ18 saying, we're going to get another August Direct, but I'm not entirely sure, even though I think his information was totally credible, whether or not, he actually knows further things about what Nintendo is up to, or if he was just somewhat in the know about stuff at E3, or potentially just kind of knew what was going on behind the scenes there, or what rumors were being talked about between people who were in the know, not necessarily further information that's actually credible. It's also possible those 15 unrevealed 3DS videos on the Nintendo 3DS YouTube channel could point to a 3DS Direct, which again could potentially be Ashley being revealed, which could also happen, I would assume soon, probably in August Nintendo Direct, highlighting WarioWare and some other 3DS games. Also possible that Japan leaker is right, and we'll get information on September 24th, a Nintendo Direct, and it'll be right after the Tokyo Game Show, and we'll get, Hihachi and Lloyd revealed. Totally possible there too. Two of the leaks are both saying Hihachi, who seems like a possible character. And it's always, potential that it got moved. Like maybe they decided they're gonna show him at Evo. Maybe they are still holding off for the 24th. Who knows? So when we're gonna get this information or know if this is true or not, at least all these seem to have ticking, clocks on them. So Evo will be over soon, and we'll know whether or not we get Hihachi. At the end of August, we'll know if LOZ18 was right with the August Direct prediction. I think those videos on Nintendo's 3DS YouTube channel have to be shown eventually, so we'll probably find out about that soon too. And then, September is not too far away, and with the Switch Online, I'm sure we'll get some sort of direct information, Nintendo Direct on that. So, 24th is a good possibility. Well, we're just going to have to wait and see, I guess. No clear answer here, but a whole bunch of, again, potentially credible pieces of information that could show that we're getting some information. So hopefully Delfino Plaza is not the last piece of information we get for a while here. Hopefully we'll get some more very soon, either from the Smash website or from a Nintendo Direct, one of these sources, or maybe Nintendo will surprise us and do something in early October. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. So once again, thank you guys for all the subscribes, all the likes. It really helps out the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, or like the video, or leave a comment, whatever you want. Until next time, have a good one.